Okay. Walk me through what the typical ad sale pitch was like.
Um, well, basically, Lewis dresses up all fancy and walks into a shop, and 9 times out of 10 they say no, but it's basically just a kind of pitch showing off our product and saying, look, we do this, bringing in a few things like we've been on the news, we've got a real buzz behind it, blah, 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 and just basically, hate to say it, talking rubbish until they kind of just a normal sales pitch basically, but with a twist because we're only 14, 15, so it's obviously a bit. I mean, most people think, am I really going to give, a check for 150, £200 to this midget or.
Nice. Um, how did you know how much to price your ads?
Just looking at other competition. I mean, within the actual spectrum, within the town, within print media, we're about middle ground. We have, I mean, the newspaper in question for a quarter page in there, it's something like £159. So small medium enterprises just aren't willing to pay that for one day. Whereas you have other things which charge really cheaply, the kind of A5 things done in home printers, but nobody reads them.
Yeah.
So we kind of went out on a limb and had a unique selling point which made us able to make up our own prices, which were kind of educated through other magazines again, but it was kind of unique because our product is kind of unique within the town. So we had to kind of pitch it from that angle, saying, yes, it might be a bit expensive for your business, but there's nothing like this, and this is big within the town right now, and it is big right now.
Okay. Um, how So you said that advertisers have came back to you, right, to buy more ads.
Yeah.
How did they track um, the amount of traffic that they were getting from your magazine?
I mean, it's obviously not like on the internet. I don't really need to say that, but it's not. You can't have a tangible number in front of you. But it's just, I think, believing and trusting that people know that advertising works, and with the price they're paying, I suppose it's for some of our advertisers, it's not a huge amount compared to how much they're turning over and how much they could potentially be. For example, every issue, a motorbike retailer buys the inside and the back cover from us. Now they're paying quite a lot for that, but imagine one sale out of all of them issues. They've made 800-900% profit at least. So it's just advertisers taking trust within us as young people, which is probably a change, and then just seeing a visit. I mean, there is no straight answer to this. It's different for every advertiser, but we can see that some things, like for example, this issue when we were distributing into the town's train station, we had a man stop us and say that he went into the motorbike store because he saw it on our magazine. Who's new to the town
Oh,
and didn't
nice.
know that it existed. So it's just kind of giving feedback through that, but there is no real way, I suppose, of saying, look, this we've had 12 leads this month, or yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got the editorial, we got the design. All right. Let's talk about the distribution, right? How did you guys distribute your magazines? I see that you guys had it in doctors' offices and stuff. Like, did you physically go and place them there? Or, like, how did it work?
Yeah, I mean that's another thing. We literally do everything, which is it just keeps costs down. I mean, we this issue has been a joke because we've written 1,000, literally walking around with a sack barrel and a box, a bit like you see in the movies, putting a few into each doctor's surgery, and it's. But yeah, it's just us putting it into the places, and it's also another unique angle we've taken rather than putting it through doors straight away, where people have been able to keep the cost down, put it into doctors, dentists, hairdressers, opticians, places where it will keep the readership high, yet costs low, and then eventually as we've grown, got more income and became more capable of doing so, we went to houses and started going into retail outlets and also online with them do with iSubscribe.com, which I believe is the UK's biggest online subscription website, and they also ran a piece of PR to shift the sales up a bit. So yeah, it's all been good with distribution front.
Okay. What kind of reception did you get from the owners of these places when you wanted to distribute the magazines?
Um, I guess we have a very good advantage in the fact that the name of the town is plastered across the front of it in the masthead, which is probably always an advantage. But it's quite positive actually because they're getting something for nothing,
Right.
basically.
Right.
And there's magazines in there anyway, so they've been quite positive. And also, we've had a marketing strategy this issue where we put a cover price on, yet give it away for free, so it seems to have a value. So again, people feel like they're getting something for nothing, and more than happy to put it in there.
Yeah, you just said something that I think a lot of people just kind of glanced over. But what you just said, that you actually put a cover price on your magazine to give the perception that it's worth something, and it is, right? That it's worth this amount, and that they're getting it for free.
Exactly. Yeah.
I
mean,
that's a really great point.
Yeah, it's one of the things we thought out when brainstorming how to get the readership up. Because obviously that's valuable whilst we're selling adverts. But then if we ever sell the product, most people, like most big press companies, buy it per reader. So the higher we can get the readership, we just do these little marketing things every now and then. We also all do local events, just literally trying to get it up that tiny bit every day. So eventually it will be quite high, and if we do come to selling the product at any point,
Yeah.
fetch more basically.
How did you come up with the readership? Is that per month, per issue, per year?
It's per issue. We do quarterly issues right now because we're at school and it's quite a mammoth job. We came up with the readership through a lot of research actually. We went into it was literally a case of sitting in quite a few establishments and counting how many people read it for 12 hours a day, and it's quite. I mean, it sounds unreal, but it was just. And then we kind of got an average from that, and then counted the UK average house, how many people are in a house, and then subtracted. There's a lot of number crunching, and eventually we came to 6,400 from the 1,000 copies, which sounds quite a lot, I guess, but that's through our distribution methods. I mean, if there's a magazine in, say, hairdressers, not one person's going to pick it up.
Right.
I mean, within at least a day, we counted 10, 11, 12 people picking it up. So that's quite a conservative estimate too. But...
Do you have that formula with you?
Not right here actually. It's on a spreadsheet at school.
Would
you can tell how busy we are at school.
Would you? Yeah. Would you be able to give that to the people watching this interview?
Sure, we could fetch it up and then show you exactly how we got that.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. I think that'd be really interesting to see that. Okay. So we got editorial, design, distribution. Let's talk about PR. You guys have got a lot of PR from BBC and other news media. Did they come to you, or did you reach out to them?
It's a bit of both, actually. It's a funny story. If you've seen the front cover of issue 3, there's like a big square building on the front.
Yep.
When that opened, there was somebody working voluntarily for the local radio station who we met, who just happened to be like one of the best PR people ever. And then he kind of went from there. He's like, look, I love what you guys are doing. I'll help you out, because he's a PR advisory person. And he basically just done a press release, sent it to his contacts. Initially, some of them came to us. Like, we went to them, but then as we were getting more reputation, BBC Radio 2, BBC Look East, and then the biggest one, BBC National Television, The Breakfast Report, they actually came to us, which was quite interesting. And also things like, I mean, the day the news report went out, Ian, our PR guy, saying that something which has never happened to him before happened. We had 2 news agencies call at once wanting to meet us. So we had to go to a local enterprise centre, hide one upstairs, whilst the other one was taking photos and getting our story and kind of hide them from each other. But that kind of backfired when they both tried to sell them to the papers and then found out that one had already sold it. But I think we managed that quite well. So yeah, the PR has really helped the brand be established within the town and make people understand that this isn't done by a big publishing company. This is done by 240 on Windows XP laptops.
Nice. The businesses, right, that you guys were going after for the ads, did you guys have a specific type of business in mind that you wanted to target?
For this magazine, not really. I mean, we're launching another magazine soon, we'll go into that in a minute, but this magazine is basically just anything to do with Corby. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's any special No, I don't think we've ever turned down a business, actually. Business is business at the end of the day. But it's just basically any public interest places, any shops, any surgeries, anything which people will look at, and anything, any company which will pay basically, because it's Corby magazine, it's the whole town. We're not trying to like target a ridiculous target market of like 12-year-olds with brown hair. We're trying to get the whole town involved, and it's been quite successful so far. So
Mhm.
yeah, just trying to pull in generalize everything. So generalize the website, generalize the editorial, generalize the adverts, and yeah, just no, really, there's no specific business we targeted. Although we did, obviously, because we were walking to get most of the sales at first, we did start off with a lot of retail, but now we've got solicitors, we've got kitchen fitters, we've got a lot of things in there. So yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to your other magazine in a bit that you mentioned. Um, what kind of you mentioned this a little bit, right? What other things have you learned along the way about publishing or about just being an entrepreneur in general?
Um, Basically, well, about publishing for a start, we've learned everything. Literally, we started off knowing nothing. I mean, I hardly ever bought magazines in the past before we started this. So basically, that also ties into what I've learned as a young entrepreneur. Kind of stick with something, and it gets better. I mean, we could have quite easily, at the first issue, just thought, look, this is because it wasn't great. I mean, it was okay, and obviously adults were like, oh yeah, that's good because you're 14, so we're going to patronise you. But it wasn't great. It was, you know what I mean? It was kind of mediocre. We could have stopped there, but we continued going. It's grown, and we've been on the BBC, and we're making enough money, and so yeah, it's just basically stick with it if you're. And now we've got kind of a brand of Corby products. So from one product, we're managing to make money all over the place from different products, online and offline. So basically, just stick with something and it'll grow is what I'm saying.
Okay. Um, the town is called Corby, right? And
It
then
is good.
and then your magazine is called Corby, and then your other product is gonna be Corby.
Yeah.
This doesn't that sound strange to you that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but yeah, I mean, it is first view it is strange, but you kind of get used to the way we target things, and we use social media to kind of so everywhere people look, if they're from Corby, the technology Facebook uses, they will see one of our brands, whether it's a suggested page, a search engine optimization, so we come near the top when you type in Corby. So basically, we're just trying to build a portfolio of Corby brands. We've got Photo Corby, which is semi-launched. I mean, it's we haven't really done much work on it. The website's launched. It's kind of a photo sharing website, the web Corby, and we've got Your Corby, which is half built, which is bloody awesome, which is a search engine which uses keywords which are unspecific to business names. So people new to the town can search, say, chemist open hours, and it'll bring up first sponsored listings and then just all normal listings. We've got a developer working with us to do that, so it's good. What other brands have we got? We're relaunching one of our company's biggest media into AdCorby, obviously to adhere to the Corby name, but then also because we only called it biggish media because that's the only domain we could get at the time. So yeah, it's just it does sound odd, and I know what you're saying, but yeah, just the Corby brand, people recognise it now within the town, and it's quite a small population, only 60,000 people. So if we can reach 10% of that for a start, people will tell other people, and the word Corby, for example, it's nothing like it, but Virgin Media, they do
Yep.
everything. I mean, it's just trying to stick with a brand name which will make sense within the town. So Corby, I guess, hasn't been taken for anything. So
Is
yeah,
the
we